But I am super excited to have Tara Romano on our team call tonight. You guys, she is absolutely amazing. I met Tara at a Jeff Combs event years ago when I was like first starting, and just thought that she was absolutely amazing. I think I was like one of the last to find out she was Alexis Romano's sister. Some people know. I knew her as CG Sittin's like best friend, was like how I kind of heard about her. But Tara's been with the company a few years longer than me. She is absolutely amazing. You guys, if you're not following her on Instagram, you should follow her. She's an amazing Zumba instructor. She's an amazing dancer. She's the founder of Tone and Tease, and I literally follow her every single day because she just celebrates women. She allows specifically women to just love their bodies exactly where they are, no matter what shape and size, and just is such an advocate in personal growth and personal development and celebrating people. But she trained at Celebration last year on wide network marketing, and I'm going to let her tell you her story. But sometimes we just have to go back to the basics and really share like why Isagenix, right? Like why this industry, why this profession, and just kind of get back to the belief. So I'm going to invite Tara out by starting her story. But you guys, she is a 119th Isagenix millionaire. She's an 11-star platinum. If you guys don't know what that is, look it up because it's impressive. She has 8 personally enrolled executives. There's so many more in the downline that she should take credit for, but she is heart, she's fun, and she's absolutely authentic. So I'm going to mute Tara, and I would love if you could just pop out and share your story. Oh, you're muted. Sorry, I muted everybody.
Sorry, no, that's okay. I'm good. That's okay. I was just saying your energy is like so amazing. And so thank you for that introduction. So I'll just tell you a little bit about my story. I was gifted Isagenix. It will be 11 years this Christmas by my sister, Alexis Romano. Like she literally bought the box, put it in my mom's foyer. There was like no gift wrapping or anything like that. And that was my gift. And at the time I was going to, I went back to college full-time for health and phys ed teacher. I was teaching part-time as a fitness instructor, and I was working full-time as a bartender. So I was so much of a do as I say, not as I do fitness instructor, meaning like I just never felt like I really looked the part. I would literally teach like 3 classes and then drive home and grab like a 7-Eleven sandwich. I was also just like working around the clock. You know, like I said, I was full-time school, full-time bartender, plus teaching. And I remember just like, I would literally run on Dunkin' Donuts, coffee, no pun intended. I would have coffee like, and I would sip it through the straw and like chew the sugar. Like that's how disgusting. Like I knew what to tell people to eat, but I just wasn't doing it for myself. So, and I was always just so tired. So my sister gifted me the products because I literally couldn't afford them. And I remember just being like, I do not want to do this, right? So I wound up doing the program and it was amazing. It was just so amazing. Literally 2 weeks in, I just remember like having so much energy, and you guys know the feeling. So I was using the products for a while, and I remember my sister just sending me lots of Isagenix material in my email, and I would just like put it in a little folder. And I knew about network marketing, but I was one of those people who, when I heard the word network marketing, I just got this like icky feeling, and I didn't know why. And I really wasn't educated on what it was, but I just thought it was like one of those people, and I didn't want to be one of those salesy people. So I don't know if any of you ever felt that way, but that was like definitely me. But I pretty much would do like anything that my sister said. So I like dabbled in it, but not really, because I was finishing school for health and phys ed, and I was super, super passionate about it. But, and I was still bartending. So when I finished college, I was looking for a phys ed job for 2 years, and I couldn't find anything. And I was doing Zumba in the schools. And by that point, I was working more as a bartender. I was teaching 20+ fitness classes in 2 counties, changing in my car. I literally never had off. And I remember just vividly like walking, and we had to wear long sleeve black shirts, button up, walking almost a mile to the last place I bartended at by the beach, and just looking at everyone having so much fun. And at the time I was like 33, and I was like, I just never pictured my life that way, because I worked so hard and I just didn't want to be doing that anymore. So one Saturday night, I called my sister crying, which was not uncommon because I was so unhappy where I was. I mean, at that point, I was adding up how much money I was making at the 7 jobs that I had. And I was adding up my bills and then seeing how much money I would have left over. So my sister's like, I'm so tired of you crying. Do this business with me or find someone else to cry. And CG and I don't even know that we were that great of friends yet, because like I didn't have anybody else to cry to. So I decided in that moment that I was going to commit to really learning about it. So I started getting on calls, and honestly, it was the events that kept me in it. Like going to events were literally what kept me in Isagenix. And obviously my sister, you know, just being the mentor that she was. And then that's that's literally what kept me in it. And then, you know, here we are today. Like, it's so crazy to think about. It actually took me almost 2 years to say yes and commit. And then, yeah, that was a long time ago.
How long?
I'm sorry. I've been in the business for like a little over 9 years.
9 years, and it took 2 years to kind of like really get going. I want you guys to like hear that, because I think sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I just enrolled this person. Like, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. You know, hear us leaders say like, never give up on people. You know, where's that feedback from? Is that on my end?
Yeah, it does sound a little feedback. I can hear you.
Some people are saying they can barely hear me. Can you guys hear me? Is that any better right now? Yeah, I don't know why. I had to mute Tara. I could hear the feedback. So I'm just gonna have to like unmute us as I like talk, or we could ping pong here a little bit. But I think that sometimes you guys, like we give up on people too soon. You know, hear leaders saying like it has to be the right timing. Like the pain has to get great enough for people to motivate, or there has to kind of be a switch or just time or whatever that is. But imagine if Alexis had, you know, given up on her, right? Alexis wasn't like constantly painting the vision for people. And sometimes we expect so much when they first come out of the gates. And you guys, when we're done, by the way, because I wanted to honor Tara's time, we're going to go back and finish up with our team call. And I have some amazing recognition about our newest executive. It didn't happen in the first 90 days, right? But it's like, it takes time and a switch of everything. And so I love that piece of your story. So I would love, actually, Tara, and I think you saw my Facebook message, so I can ask you this, but talk a little bit about what that was like, because people see, you know, Alexis Romano, and they see you, and they see CG, and they see Todd, and it's like, oh my gosh, they make it look so easy. But talk a little bit about like what that was like, and how you guys maybe gained momentum, what it was like in the early years, kind of what it's like now.
Okay, I had to unmute. It's funny, I worked my business as hard as I worked all of my other jobs. So remember, I come from 7 W-2 forms. So I'm a worker by nature. Like, I mean, I started working like when I was 10 years old, washing dishes at my sister's boyfriend's family's restaurant. So I just don't know any other way. So yeah, we worked hard. I mean, when I say we worked hard, it was like, I remember sitting on my porch of where I was living at the time. And I had just gotten back home from bartending, and just like, it was a Saturday night, and just like reaching out to 20 people. Like my sister said, like 20 people a day, you're going to inbox. So I would literally copy and paste like the same message and just change the name. But I did, I reached out to people, and people, you know, defriended me, and it was just it was a lesson. And so anytime someone does that to me now, I'm just like, I just have so much compassion for them. But I mean, it was vendor tables up the butt, events. But now you have to remember, like, this is back then, like the closest event was like 4 hours away. So we just went. I remember like not having the money to go, but like, because it was a weekend event, and like bartending, you make like, you know, $400 on a weekend. But I went, you know, I went. And I remember vendor tables, like I would make flashcards just to remember like a fun fact about like a product. You know, it was uncomfortably talking about it in my classes, being nervous, you know, just doing all the things that you don't want to do. And I mean, it was just using the products in front of people. And we made a lot of mistakes. I've gotten made fun of. Like, I remember having like a table in Seaside Heights like years ago, and after a Zumba event, and my friends like knocking the stuff down and people saying no, and it, but it was all of the time. Like, we never did not work the business. It's just what we did every day. It's like, and you have to remember, like, I was still teaching and still bartending too, and I had an hour drive from where I was bartending to. And that was the first time I started to learn about personal development. So I would listen to Jeffrey Combs the whole hour there after like substitute teaching. And I was also substitute teaching too. So, because I knew someone was going to like really frustrate me once I got into my bartending job. So I just made sure like that my mind was right. And I would always take some sort of action.
Okay, I love that. I don't know why that's happening. I'm sorry. Weird. Zoom like updating on me. It has this waiting room. So thanks, Tara. Thanks for like being a pro with the mute and the unmute and everything. But you guys, I hope you're hearing some of these things. Like, she's in the pockets of her time. Like, my favorite line so far is that she comes from 7 W-2s, right? Like, she was already working hard. It was like just applying herself to this compared to everything else because she saw the freedom. And I think much like my story, I was like, I'm going to work that hard regardless. But at some point, like, you get exposed to leveraged income, right? You get exposed to residual income and thinking like, I want all of this hard work to pay me over and over and over and over, and not just the hour you clock in and you clock out. But this piece about personal development, that in that hour drive, there's a lot of things that she could have done. And she said, you know what, I'm going to work on my mindset. I'm going to work on this skill set. I'm going to commit to getting better because this was her future. And if you guys haven't done it yet, I'm going to remind you again, look up what 11-star platinum is in Isagenix, because no Zumba class is going to teach you that. You know, no bartending shift is going to teach you that or pay you that. And that is truly like what she's worth. And there's also this ripple effect of the amount of people that she's been able to help. So Tara, I would love if you know, like, talk about maybe how many people you've enrolled and like what your members and downline are because of your consistency and because of the personal growth and just that leveraged income. And then just talk a lot about network marketing in this industry and our company. I'll just kind of mute and let you kind of do your thing.
You know, I should know the number. I'm just going to take a guesstimate because we actually had a training during quarantine where we had so many people's numbers. So my downline is around 170,000. I enrolled about 360 people, and then I forgot the other question. What was, I don't remember what the other question was, but
just the, like, how like passive income is really working, residual income, and how
so my so like I didn't really work this business for almost 2 years. So my first year I made like, I don't know, $16. The next year, like, so the second year was like 200 and something because I wasn't really working it. Then it was like 6,000. Somewhere else to like 50,000, and then it was like 400,000. It was like it was kind of crazy. So it was, it was like it didn't happen overnight at all. And I think about like, I think about being a fitness instructor now, and you can relate to this, Lauren. But I mean, when I first started as fitness instructor, I was making $17 an hour. When I left 6 years later or 7 years later, I was making $19 an hour. Now, as a fitness instructor, like, and this was, so I was like 20, this was a while ago. So it was like, maybe like 15 years ago. But I remember they wouldn't let me teach anywhere else. So I had 3 classes. They wouldn't let me teach anywhere else, and they wouldn't give me a pay raise because they didn't have the funding. So they really put a cap on my income, and they put a cap on my passion. Like, there was nowhere for me to grow from there. So what I then did was like really just take like the network that I had. I did whatever I was doing with fitness or sharing anything else, and I just incorporated just sharing Isagenix in that. So I mean, residual income is really powerful, and I don't know, like, I don't really know who I'm talking to on the line or how long everyone's been in or if they've been in long, and so residual income is just like so super powerful. Leverage is really powerful. So it's like, you're doing the work, like, in a 9-to-5 job, a clock in and clock out, which network marketing absolutely is not. And that's why I truly feel like people don't stay in, is because people sometimes want to be told what to do. But when it comes to network marketing, you just really have to motivate yourself. You have to inspire yourself to show up every day. Like, the worst thing that you can actually do in this business is stop. So like, I mean, you can associate it the way you would go to a gym. Like you can't go to the gym for 3 weeks, really super strong, and then stop for 2 months and then go back and think that you're going to pick up where you left off. It's just not how it works. It's like the death of network marketing is stopping and starting. Like really, I just feel like to keep this business afloat is probably one of the easy, I'm going to say it, it's one of the easiest things to do. And I work with a lot of parents who have full-time jobs who are super successful. We actually all have the time. And I want to say like when people say like, I don't have the time, I just invite them to like change the wording around to I don't want to, because that's really what it is. I mean, the fact that like everything is online right now is so powerful. And I have been saying this term, like a second stream of income is the new black, because like with the world right now, I mean, who knows what's even going to happen in 2 months. And the fact that you have something that like you have wellness and like, you know, Isagenix is just moving into this wellness industry. So it's not even just about like weight loss. We have this whole broad stream of wellness that everyone needs right now. And not even just like the physical wellness. We have the opportunity and the mental wellness and community that it brings along. So what I invite people to do too is like, and I said this in my training last August, Lauren, is, you know, Isagenix and network marketing allows you to do what you're passionate about, create a community around it, and then tie in Isagenix. So like, I'm thinking like everyone on this call, think about like what you're passionate about. Like, what do you love to do? You know, and for me, it's dance. I love dance. So really a lot of how I did this is I created a YouTube channel. I shared my choreography. I was uber consistent. I created a huge community online, and then I tied in Isagenix. And if you look at some of my YouTube videos from back in the day, I sound ridiculous. I held up the Ionix bottle and I said, hey, and I was so shy. I was like, hey, so you guys have been asking me about this bottle, and like, if you want some more information, let me know. And you know, that's where it started from. And I was just really consistent. I didn't miss posts. I didn't like, and you can make excuses, I think, because I hear it from my team of why you're not doing something, but it's just because you don't want to. And that's why I feel, and that's why I think really getting, like having your why so viscerally ingrained in your body is so important, because on the days where you don't want to do it, when you actually should be doing taking action steps even more, that's what's going to bring you closer to your goal. And it's really coming from a place of service too, like not even just what your why and what your goals are, but how it's going to impact other people and how it's going to impact the world, and essentially how you show up in the world too.
Oh my gosh, so good. I'm like typing as like fast as I can of the things that you're saying. You guys, and I'm just gonna like highlight on a few more of these. I want you guys to hear some of the things that Tara's saying, and this recording will be available, and you guys can look up to like Celebration 2019, and you can see Tara's piece on why network marketing. But like, if you didn't hear her say it and I typed it, and in 6 years as a Zumba instructor, she went from $15 to $19, right? That's a $4 raise in 6 years. That's like what, 75 cents a year was where it was going. And then she said her Isagenix income, right, which was like $6 or $16, and then up to then, you know, 50K or 60K to the 400. That is what this business does. That's the beauty of the compound effect. It's the same thing that you've heard over and over about the penny, that if someone says, do you want $1 million, or do you want a penny that doubles every day for $1 million? And when it really catches wave and it catches momentum, but too many people quit before they really get started, because they're overestimating what can happen in year one and really underestimating what can happen in year 5, year 7, year 9, year 10, and to keep going. And that whole concept, if you're gonna work anyways, the time is gonna pass you by anyways, you know, whether Tara was bartending or she was teaching or substitute teaching or teaching group fitness classes, all these different things, that she was gonna put the time in anyways. So I would encourage you to ask yourself and ask your teammates every time you're saying like, I don't have time for that, or is it like she said, I don't want to do that, because we all have it and it's all the priorities. And then the hustle behind it. I mean, 20 people a day and always working. And all you guys, I'll tell you, I was at Top Achievers. I think this was at Hilton Head. It may have been Hawaii. I don't remember. It was years ago. And I was walking on the beach with Jessica Rigner, who you guys all know. And Tara and CG and Alexa were sitting at this coffee table with their computers out, and they were working. You could tell they were like going through the reports and everything. And Jessica was like, wow, that's why we're not maxed out yet. She was like, that's why we're not 8 stars, because we're on the beach and we're not doing what they're doing. And granted, there's like this work-play balance, and I want you to feel like you have to do that, but that level of consistency of like, even on this awards trip, right, that they were reaching out, they were checking in on people, they were duplicating. So Tara, I would say, I would love for you to just, if there is anything you wanted to talk about, how you've created leaders. I mean, 8 personally enrolled executives is amazing, right? Talk a little bit about how you've caused duplication in your team.
Yeah, and I want to touch, you said something about about anyway, and it reminded me of Zach Slovan had said, this is an anyway business. Like, people need nutrition anyway, they're looking for wellness anyway, they're looking for an opportunity anyway, people want community anyway and support anyway, so it's just an anyway business. So like, and I feel like we can touch so many people on that. So we were like really big on, I mean, I'm huge on community. I love getting people together. I feel people thrive in like tribe and like support and just lifting each other up. And that's a big piece of what we offer here too. And people don't have that. Like, I remember, and this is, and I, again, this share this, but I always remember this story. My very first Isagenix event, which was like so weird because it was in a hotel, and like, it was a small room and everybody was old. Jimmy Smith was there. And I remember him saying, and everyone was just so nice to me. And I'm like, what has my sister got me into? And he said, the only way to fail is to quit. And the speakers were just pouring belief into people. And I just remember, like, that's not what I remember growing up. Like, when I went back to school for health and phys ed, the teacher was just like a little negative. And just, when I was student teaching, like, this other student teachers didn't want to support you. It's like they almost want, and this was my experience, I'm not saying it's everyone's experience, but it's almost like they wanted to see you fail. Like, they weren't going to help you. Like, I remember a teacher saying, oh, you should know this. And, just like really bombing at some lessons. And like, it had to happen to me, but like the support, I feel like even for people who aren't financially linked, is something that I've never experienced in my entire life. And I just think it's really powerful to live that kind of life. Like, life is fleeting. We never know when not to be dramatic, but we don't know when our last day is. And really just to have this around your life on a daily basis is super inspiring. And what I'll say to new people, I'm like, listen, this business, these calls, plugging in, these events are not going to only help you with your business. They're literally going to help you with your entire life, your relationships, how you see the world. Like, just think about what's going on in the world now. Like, I'm so grateful that I've learned the tools that allow me to just be on social media and be able to tune out like the garbage that's like flooded in. And I want to share that with other people. So yes, of course I have financial goals for myself and my team, but like, I also have goals for humans, you know what I mean? And for them to be able to experience life in a different way. So my passion is like, and it's so much, I've always been of service, but now to be financially where I'm at, and I mean, I am just like, I'm able to do things in such a different way. Like, I was able to, give back in such a way where I don't have to worry about the finances and I can help other people. And I just feel like there's a lot of energy exchange in that. So, you don't need to want to create, $1 million. Like, it's not what I wanted. That was never my goal. I just didn't want to bartend anymore. Like, I didn't want to work 7 jobs. Like, I wanted to have off on the weekend. So it's just like, you have to decide, what you're going to do. And so, yeah, it was a lot of community. We did a lot of in-person events. Like, events was our thing. We're just so consistent. It's something that just, I feel like that's a decision, that you make. Like, you're either it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. Right. So, yeah, I just feel like we just really formed like a lot of bonds, and friendships and support. And we still do. Like, it is like, we don't miss a beat. Sunday nights, 8 o'clock, Monday nights, Tuesday nights, like, we're all like, everyone's supporting. We don't even have to like do an inbox to say, hey, can you support? Because we just know what to do at this point. And it's just really powerful.
I love that. You are saying so many amazing things. And I know that this is landing. I'm going to try and mute you again. Sorry, I don't know why that's happening. It is like landing, I think, on a lot of people, and you guys in that community. I mean, not only do people in corporate America not get that, like we know, like no one's going into their job, like you're amazing, right? Like you did such a great job on table number 45, but even within our community. So when I talk to a lot of other network marketers because I love this industry so much. And recently a girl who's in like I'll just call it a financial company. And I have a good friend that joined that. And I was asking her, I said, hey, you're really successful. Like, is there a way like I can like plug my friend in and she just kind of watch what you're doing? And like, you know, and she was like, oh no, like if she's not my lineage, like no. And like, you know, she was like threatened by her in this like scarcity mindset. And I just thought, oh my gosh, like you always hear Isagenix is so different. But if you've not experienced it, so if you didn't know, Tara and I are not financially linked, not even close. Sometimes you guys hear me talk about my cross-line people as like Isa cousins. I mean, we are nowhere financially linked. And that on a Monday night, and it's 9:30 on the East Coast, that she's going to pour into you because she can and she wants to. I mean, that's the community that we get to invite people into. And like the more that like you earn in Isagenix, I feel like the more people just give, and that you can really support each other and learn from each other. And right now, and you hear us say this all the time, people are demanding wellness at their door, some type of recession-proof, bulletproof income, and they're craving community. Like we've never been so divided. We've never been so separated. If so many of you just started prospecting with the friendships that people can have through Isagenix, you'd probably like take the pressure off of knowing, you know, what all the Ionics ingredients are and just be able to really share why this is so amazing. So you guys, I need you to stay on for a couple minutes when we're done. But Tara, I just want to open up if you have any last words for them, how to, you know, keep the momentum through the end of the year or whatever. I just would love for you to share anything left on your heart. And then I'm going to unmute and you guys say thank you to her, but stay on for me a little bit longer.
I just feel like, you know, I was just doing a training for my team and I was like, you know, just take action, like daily action. And like, I also was saying this too, like we're not allowed to be like in events a lot right now. Right. And I love events so much, but there's so much going on online. There's so many groups, like put yourself like around other people doing more than you, like learn, grow, experience, like, you know, meet people, do things that make you uncomfortable. It's literally in the uncomfortableness that you really grow. And if you're nervous to like post or reach out to someone, like someone's like, oh, I'm nervous, like that this will happen. I'm like, well, what if that happened? I'm like, so what if you did like fumble over your words or you didn't know the answer and like someone defriended you? Like I've had all of that done to me and I'm still here to talk about it. And I think it's in the vulnerability and our authenticity where the true connection really does happen. And like, you know what's going to happen if you don't do this, but can you imagine like what you could experience if you actually did take daily action? Like, just think of the connections that you can make, the people that you can serve, the lives that you can literally save. And I just feel like really thinking about that and just doing something different. It's just powerful. It's like the legacy that we can leave. Like we only get this one chance at life. And I feel like with everything going on in the world, like, don't you want to do something different, experiencing something different, right? So it's again, it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. And the choice is literally always up to us.
So good. I absolutely love everything you said. Thank you so much for your heart, for your wisdom, for your grace, for your realness. I have so many sound bites. I'll send you this recording in case you want to send it to your team. Don't forget to send me back your address in my little Facebook message with you. But you guys stay on for just like 5 or 10 minutes with me. Thank you so much, Tara. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your Monday. Bye. All right, you guys, I have no idea what's happening with the Zoom and why it's like getting all fuzzy if we weren't, you know, muted at the same time. But you can hear me now? Thanks. Kari's like always like, don't do that. I'm like, I'm looking at Kari for the direction here. Just a few things. First of all, the recording is going to be available. I always like to go back and listen to things a second time. I think it's hard to get all of those sound bites, but I mean, there's some good things that she just said. I mean, 20 messages a day, like that's awesome, right? I mean, that's big, that's bold, but we hear people say all the time, like, I'm not a salesperson, or like, I just don't know if this is me. That's people that are nervous, right? It's uncomfortable. And instead of just pushing through that and getting better, it's like people quit on themselves. And that's like sometimes just hearing from someone who, imagine if she had quit, right? I mean, one of the most powerful things, what did she say? 170,000 people in her organization. Like, You know what I mean? Like, that's like 3 Denver Bronco football stadiums. Like, I can't even imagine, right? But think about all of those lives. All of those people, number one, had a product experience. No matter, I mean, I could stop there. They have a product experience. We know what this nutrition does. Then even if we take 10%, that's 17,000 people that have benefited from this financially. Like, when we talk about that we can impact people's lives, like, get the grasp of that. You know what I mean? Like, get the true power of what we do. We are so much more than getting people on a 30-day system, you know, and that ripple effect, that if any one of us quits, then what we're not able to do for other people, right? Or if you're not reaching out to these people because we get in our head about it, we stop this chain of just service and impact. So I'm going to go back now a little bit. I always do this in reverse. We have a guest speaker because I don't want to like take their time while I go through some announcements. But Jenny Thompson, who is not on the call, and Kisa, because they're partying together in Austin. They planned this vacation. But Jenny promoted because she is now a 1-star Crystal Executive, 2-star Golden Circle, because she created her first ever executive. Kimberly, who's on the call, so you guys blow up the chat, because not only did she slay the director pools, but this month she will be earning in the director pools and the executive leadership pools, which is so fun. And you guys, I just am going to brag on her for a little bit. Keep blowing up the chat. This is like not an easy feat, but it gets frustrating. And when you set your mind to something and you commit to it, and she and Jenny were like laser focused, like, we are getting paid as executive before the October month starts. We're getting the executive leadership bonus. And like on Thursday, there was this like moment of like, this might not happen, in the belief of our team, the encouragement, but truly their burning desire and their consistency to not quit. When they committed to it, it absolutely happened. I mean, I don't think I've ever checked Isopulse so many times. On like Sunday, I'm like refreshing, you know, like to see where she was at. You know, I was like, is this your 10th? Is this your 10th? Like, it is such a big deal. And it's the highest level of leadership in our company. It is the biggest accomplishment. And I honestly, I will say this over and over, except for maybe maxing out or hitting millionaire, it's the best rank advancement. It is the best rank advancement to get there. Like, more than 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, that's volume. But to be like, I created 10 consultants, you know, and I'm an executive. So I just really want to honor you. I'm so glad you're on here that I can say it to you. I'm so proud of you, and it's awesome. And there's some couple other people like right on your tail now that are going for it. I also wanted to recognize Barbara, you guys. She not only had her highest week, she was so close to the 5-cycle bonus, it will happen, but the fact that she was like, oh my gosh, I can do this, like the belief, like even though it didn't, but she had over $300 in double pibs, you know. And the week before, I'll just say, in the 5-week coaching call was a little tough, and she just did a mindset shift and got to work. And I was texting her all week long, and I'm so proud of you, your energy, your heart, your consistency, your dedication. And in the midst of her like taking care of all of her people, she's like helping me make sure I don't have typos on my own social media posts. So thank you. Absolutely incredible. Kisa had 4 enrollments last week. Laura had 2. Charlene had 2. Summer had 2. Katie Hammond had 2. Stephanie had 2. Like, you guys, it was like every single time I opened up Isopulse, like we were enrolling. And I love it. And I love it when I'm seeing new names. You know, it's like, it's not just Kathy or Kisa or Anna or Laura, or people that have been with us for a long time. You know, Alicia, Danielle, Kari, like Cindy Sizemore, right? She's got a couple of new enrollments. It's just, as we grow, it's so fun. So I honestly am so excited for you guys. Just a couple announcements. There are some products that are being discontinued, both individually and in packs. So if you're not getting the corporate emails, I posted it in Cleansers and Dreamers in Action. Just type in discontinued in the search bar, take a screenshot, save it. If there's anything you want to order before they're gone, or you know your customers order, take a look at that. ISA Academy is October 17th. It is from 12 to 5 Eastern time. So it's 10 to 3 Mountain Standard Time, 9 to 2 California time. Block it off, you guys. We don't have our events. Like, I still can't believe that the only event of 2020 was NYKO back in January. But the ISA Academies are canceled. Celebration was canceled. All the ICUs are canceled. And it's the season that we're in, but that means more than ever, you've got to stay plugged in. So if you want to have a watch party and bring 3 or 4 or 5 of your team members over, you know, so that you're staying safe or whatnot, but that you have the energy, but don't blow this off. You know, our ISA Academies, you guys, it costs $1,000 basically to get a flight, to get an event ticket, to get a hotel, for your food and drinks out, and these are free. It just means you have to want this bad enough that you block off 5 hours into your calendar. And for those of you that have kids, then get a babysitter or go somewhere that you don't have kids. Just like you would travel to the event, If you cannot put your 3-year-old or your 5-year-old somewhere, right? Like get help, go leave, go to a coffee shop, go to the library, go to a friend's house, but like take it seriously because you guys all deserve to really get this valuable training and finish 2020. And the last little bit that I wanted to share with you guys, some of you saw it because it went up right before the call and I could see some people commenting on it, but I want to talk to you about it. If you've never heard me go through the formula on how you figure out how many people you need to bring into your organization to rank advance. This comes from Jessica Rigner. You know, she's been in this industry for a long time. And just like any business where you can forecast, you know, and she has created this formula that you figure out how many people you need by the average, you know, order that people are coming in. You're taking into effect you're taking into consideration the attrition, so natural returns or people that go inactive or things like that. And you can speculate, you can try to project, estimate how many people you would need in order to rank advance. And so I've helped people do this and they're going 1-star to 2-star, 2-star to 3-star. The formula is in Dreamers in Action. I can tag you in it if anybody's curious, reach out. But most recently I was doing it with some top leaders and figuring out how do we get to the next level, you know, like, and really try to get the momentum by the end of the year. And I was talking to Ryan and being like, I just have this goal. Like I keep seeing where the members in downline are and this and that. And people, and I was like, can you imagine if we brought in 1,000 new people by the end of the year, you know? And he's looking at me like, you're insane. Like, how are you going to do that? You know? And I'm like, oh my gosh, we can totally do this. I mean, our team is like almost 15,000 people, right? I mean, even if like a third of them all enrolled like half a person, like half, you know what I'm saying? I was like realistically, like it's very possible. And about a year and a half ago, I said, we're going to enroll 100 people in a day. And everybody was like, you're nuts, Lauren. I was like, why? And I was like, there's a lot of us that bring in 2 or 3 people in a week. I said, if everybody blocked off, and we like called it a call out day and this enrollment day. And we all sat our butts in the chair for like 12 hours, right? I had people at my house. Like I will never forget, Danielle lost power and she got in her car. She like plugged her phone into her car to like keep working because she was like out of power. And we didn't enroll 100, but I think it was like 79 or 78. I don't know, Laura, if you remember. I mean, it was just shy of it, but I was like, we'd never enrolled more than 75 people on a Sunday before. We never enrolled by more than 15 people on a Sunday, but it was like, we were committed to it. And so, you know what, 1,000, I might be selling us short, right? We might be able to bring 2,000 people or 2,500 people by the end of the year. But maybe it's a big, huge, audacious goal. And maybe we can only bring in 500. But if we were going to bring in 300, and now because the stretch goal, we get to impact that many more lives. Like I'm such a goal-oriented person. I'm such a driven person. But I'm telling you guys, when I see like 1,000 new dreamers, this is not because like this maxes me out. I'm gonna be totally transparent. I have no idea what my numbers are for me to max out. What I was thinking about was if you've never listened to like Eric Worre's like how to recruit 20 people in 30 days, and it's about getting all of this momentum at one time, right? All this new people, all this excitement, what starts to happen. And that's what happens in like CG and Tara and Alexis's business, right? Like I saw it when Jessica's went, when she had Holly and Erica and people all committed at the same time. And it's like all of us having this vision, right? All of us like locking arms and working together and being like, we can impact 1,000 people, like 1,000 people in the next 3 months. And so in the comment, Kathy was like, I enrolled one, right? And I was like, me too. Okay, 998 to go, you know, and Shruti's going to help me like keep track of this. But here's the other thing. You guys know I believe in incentives. You know I want to drive you. And sometimes, you know, when I put out things like the person that creates the most consultants, okay, well, you know, Keisha and Jenny and Kimberly and Laura, which might be like consultant factories right now, someone who's never done that, they give up before they try, right? Their brain is like, I can't create consultants. And so they dismiss the contest and they don't even try because they've already told themselves that they suck at it and they can't do it. Or I'll say top enroller, like a minimum of 3 or minimum of 4. And then someone who's only ever enrolled 1 person or maybe 5 people in their career, again, they tell themselves like, oh, I can't do that. I'm never a top enroller. I never get the recognition, right? Like for this before they even like really go for it. So you guys are going to see, because I'm celebrating everything every single week, and I already have all the prizes. It's already mapped out. for the next 12 weeks, it's all enrollment. It's all based on volume, okay? So all of the prizes are based on bringing in new customers, and they're starting with one enrollment, okay? Like to qualify, you have to have one enrollment. And then there's gonna be things like, well, for the more enrollments, the more names you get into the drawing. So this week, and you should see it posted by the time we get off the call, it's Lululemon hoodies, okay? So there's a girl's version and there's a guy's version, whoever the winner is. Every time you get an enrollment, minimum of 100 BV, you get your name in the drawing. So if Danielle enrolls 6 people, she'll get 6 names in the drawing. It increases her chances to win. If Alex has 1, then she'll get 1, right? If Kathy has none, she has none. If Keith has 2, he'll get 2. You guys following me? All the names are gonna go in the little fishbowl. We'll pull 1 out, right? So the more enrollments you have, the greater chance of your name being pulled out, but you only need 1 to qualify. And this week is the Lululemon, right? As we get closer to the holidays, because I know people need gift cards, there's gonna be things like a gift card to Target, a gift card to Amazon, because if you can get a $50 gift card and that's gonna help you buy, you know, gifts for your family or whatnot, you're gonna see as we get closer into the seasons, my gifts are changing on purpose because I'm really intentional about this. But what I need you guys to do is like, I need your commitment. I need your buy-in. I want you to be like, yeah, we can do this. Right? I mean, even on this call right now, there was just under 20 of us, you know? So, I mean, if we all enrolled 10 by the end of the year, that's already 200 people. You know, a lot of us are going to bring in more than 10 people, right? But now think about everybody in your organization. If they all brought in 1 person, you know, and some of us are going to bring in 5 or 10 people a month, more than our 2 or 3 or 4. But it's getting that excitement and getting all this momentum, because this is how we're going to create 1 stars, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, and this momentum for everybody, because we're all focused on the same thing. It's a group vision. It's a group why. It's a group commitment, right? And getting people excited about when they come in and say, hey, by the way, our team is trying to impact 1,000 lives by the end of the year. And you're going to see every week I'll post it. Like so far, we've done 225. We're 775 to our goal. Who do you know that would like to get healthy with us? Who do you know who would like to be a part of this community? And we're going to have a freaking lot of fun and help a lot of people. So I wanted to have a chance to talk to you guys about that before you just see this post. But don't let the fuel, like, I'm so excited, and then like November be like, oh, my turkey bloated and I don't want to do that, right? Like put it somewhere, like stay committed, keep people excited, that all the way through the end of the year that we're all on board and we're all locking arms. And Isagenix has great promos, like we have the free shipping right now. They're going to do some things. They're going to have their seasonal shakes coming out. They're doing their part to keep it fresh. Hopefully I've done a great job of picking out a variety of gifts and contests from you guys, from Cash to Amazon to Target to Yeti, right? Things that everybody will like. But ultimately, just like imagine when we can see the ripple effect a year or 2 from now. Like that was the class of 2020, you know, like that was the COVID class that is like the next group of managers and directors. And like that was the group of people that were hungry for residual income and all of that. We really, really do have power in numbers. So I'm going to wrap up our call, you guys, next Monday is when we kick off our Fall into Health, Rise into Wellness 30-day challenge. I have mapped out whole month of posts, so they're already going to be scheduled. You guys are going to see this, but I actually want to tell you as leaders, outside of just our product users, Monday through Sunday is hashtags. So we have Meal Monday, Tasty Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, no, I'm sorry, Tip Tuesday, Wellness Wednesday, Tasty Thursday, Fit Friday, Sweaty Saturday, and Self-Care Sunday. So every Monday, and I already have them, is the Meal Monday, and it's a 300 to 500 calorie seasonal meal. So I have like some butternut squash recipes in there and some pumpkin recipes, and so that people can figure out how to stay healthy and meet their cravings. The Tip Tuesday, like one day, it's like all the different ways to do ionics, right? The following week is like on if you like your shake thick or thin, how much water, how much ice, things like that. The Wellness Wednesday, 1 week is about immunity, and we're highlighting the Sea Light and the Immune Bundle, right? The next week is all about sleep, and we're talking about the sleep spray. There's 1 week about fiber, and I'm highlighting the Fiber Pro and the fiber bars. Now, I will tell you, I've put in a lot of work for this, a lot, because I want there to be a lot of value. Please do your part, which is number 1, enrolling people and getting them excited about this challenge. But number 2 is like tagging your team in the posts, right? So they're scheduled, which means with the algorithm, you don't always get the notification. So like go into the page, refresh it, and be like, oh, okay, here's Lauren's, Fit Friday, and tag your team in the workouts. The Saturday ones, the sweaty Saturdays, they're always engagements. I'm asking for selfies, and there's gift cards in there for people that take their selfies. Sometimes you guys just skim over it, but you're missing the opportunity to tag your teams so that they can win things. And that's part of the community. So if you didn't see, and it's actually under Kari, Evelyn was the only person that I put all these like cookie recipes up. She was the only person. I said, put a picture of the recipe and you're the winner. Well, it was the easiest drawing ever. She was the only person that did it. She was like, I can't believe no one else did it. But she's getting a box of oat bakes today from me because she did it, right? So like, you'll see some of those like tag your teams or post a picture, like read through it, because then if Kathy sees it, she tags 10 of her people, more people see it, right? And these are all the things that lead to our community, lead to our retention, lead to other people sharing and learning about the products. If you look at your back office, and a lot of people are not ordering a lot, it's because all they know is the 30-day. They don't know about the Fiber Pro. They don't know about the sleep spray. They don't know about the Rejuvenity, okay? And so just as a highlight of things to be looking for, every post is gonna have a hashtag. They'll be easy to follow. But in addition to launching the 30-day challenge, we're also going to be reading Michael Jordan's book. So I'm going to open up a thread just for that. I know there's like 10 or 11 people who said they want to be a part of it. So if you haven't already ordered the book, make sure you order it. Mine is right here, The Driven from Within. We're going to read that through the 30-day challenge. So we're doing some mental health stuff as well as some physical health. And Keith, all of the posts, I just saw your question, is going to be in Dreamers, Cleansers, and Coaches. So our coaches page, not the business builder page. So starting Monday, you're going to see Meal Monday, right? Like, welcome to day one of our fall health and wellness challenge. Here's a healthy meal. You know, you can have this on any shake day. There's the recipe, a pretty picture, you know. The following Monday, you're going to see it again. The Tuesday, one is like the tips, but those are things like when it says like, hey, you can do Ionics, add the powder to warm water in your shake, take a shot of the liquid. Those are great times. Like, you want to comment in there, right? And be like, oh my gosh, I totally am a person that just takes a shot a day, and tag a couple of like your new cleansers, like, Kari, how are you using it? You know, Kathy, how do you take your Ionics? Like, really just as a team, that's what's going to keep the excitement up. That's what keeps more people notified. This is what keeps people's order baskets high, the retention high. So I know when they're like, hey, like, I enroll all these people, but like, why is this challenge different than the others? Like, this is something like we put a lot of work into, so that there's a lot of value. And things like the workouts, like if you do the at-home workout, like there's one Friday, it's a 30-minute body weight workout, but there's a beginner option and an advanced. But like, cool ways for you guys is like videotape part of the workout and like post it in the comments. Like, it was so fun to work at home today. Like, you know, if your kiddos are doing it with you or something, like plug them into it. Let people really just see the heart of our community, and we're not just like pushing shakes and cleanse. Make sense? Okay, you guys are awesome. Have a wonderful Monday. I'm fired up for it. I'm fired up for the rest of the year. I love you guys all. Thank you for being here. If you follow Tara, send her a message. Say thank you for being on our team call, and I'll send her a gift. I always send guest speakers gifts from the team when they do that. So have a good night, you guys. Thank you for being on.